Hi, welcome to my video on find the equation as f of x equals a b raised to the x over c. And the previous video we had just x, and now I'm going to explain what this value c is all about in this equation. So f of x equals a b to the x over c, and we're going to have that a is greater than 0 in this equation. B is greater than 0 and not 1, that's the base. And we have x belongs to the real numbers, because x can be any value belonging to the reals. And c belongs to the positive rational numbers. Positive rational could be a 2, 3, a half, a 1/3, etc. And c is the increment change of the x values that we're going to explain. It says state the increment change of x. So the increment change of x is the change that occurs. So there's 1 and 1 and 1. So see, the x's are changing by 1 as you go to the right. Notice now the x's are changing a 2, a 2, a 2. So the increment change for x is 2. And here the increment change is 3, 3, 3. And the increment change here is 0 to 5 is 5, from 5 to 10 is 5, from 10 to 15 is 5, so the increment change. So the increment change is consistent in the row of x. And also, at the same time, we can see that we have a ratio. So if we look, and what I'm looking at now is find the equation of each above as the f of x equals a b to the x over c. So a in each of these is when x is 0. So when you put 0 in for x here, the b to the 0 is 1, so you get the value of a. So when x is 0, a is 1. When x is 0, a is 1. When x is 0, a is 2. When x is 0, a is 3. So when we want the equation, we need the values of a in this one, and the value of a is 1. And the ratio, notice the ratio is 5 divided by 1 is 5. 25 divided by 5 is 5. And 125 divided by 25 is 5. So the base or the ratio is 5. And the increment change is 1. So the equation y equals a b x over c becomes a is 1, b is 5, x increment change is 1, so the equation becomes 5 to the x. So let's look at the second one, this table. And the increment change is 2. A is 1. When x is 0, a is 1. So we write that down. A is 1. The base is the ratio. So 5 divided by 1 is 5. Again, it's the same numbers. So the ratio is going to be a 5, which means the base is 5. And c, the increment change in the x is 2. So plug that into the equation, a, b, x over c. So a is 1, the base is 5, and it's x, c is equal to 2, so it's x over 2. So y equals 5x over 2. Notice the table here is 1, 5, 25, 125. That's the same here, but the difference is the increment change in the x. Here c is 1, here c is 2. And in table C, we found out c increment change in x is 3. We found out a is 2 because when x is 0. So we have a is 2, but we got to find the ratio. So 10 divided by 2 is 5, and 50 divided by 10 is 5. 250 divided by 50 is 5. So we have a ratio of 5, which means the base is 5. So the base is 5. And the increment change in the x is 3. So the equation is y equals a b x over c. So a is 2, base is 5, and it's an x over 3. And let's go to the last chart here, D, and we have a to be 3, that's when x is 0. And we have the base, so we have 6 divided by 3 is 2, 12 divided by 6 is 2, 24 divided by 12 is 2, so the ratio is 2, which means the base is 2. The base is the ratio of consecutive terms. And the increment change in the x is, c is 5. So y equals a, b, x over c. A is 3, the base is 2, and x over 5. Okay, you can check that out if you want. Just take just either one of these and plug, don't have to plug them all in, but if you take 2 and plug it into this equation, 5 squared is 25. If you take the 4 here and plug it into the second equation, plug 4 in, x is 4, y is 25, 4 in, 4 divided by 2 is 2, 5 squared, 25. Let's put a 3 in c. When x is 3, y is 10, x is 3, 3 over 3 is 1, 5 to the 1 is 5, 2 times 5, 10. So you can see that we can verify that these equations are true looking at the table. Okay, let's continue. Let's just do, now, we have the f of x equals a bx over c again, but you can pause the video and work these out yourself. So looking at the table, a is when x is 0, so x is 0, the a is equal to 7. And the ratio is 14 divided by 7 is 2, 28 divided by 14 is 2. So if this is going to be true, the ratio is 2, that means the base is 2. So the base is 2, and the increment change in the x values are changing by 1. So y equals, a is 7, b is 2, and it's an x over 1. So the equation is y equals 7, 2 raised to the x power. And number 2, I go again, we need this equation, so we need the a. The a is when x is 0, so the a is 5. The ratio, 15 divided by 5 is 3. 45 divided by 15 is 3. So you can see that the ratio is 3. So the base is going to be 3 because the base and the ratio are the same. And the increment changes in the x are 4, 4, 4. So c is 4. So y equals a is 5. Base is 3, x over c, which is 4. That's the equation that represents this table. And again, let's do the next one. Again, don't forget, you have to make sure that the x's are in order. 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 4, 8, 12, 0, a half, 1, 1 and a half. So a, everything is okay. So I'm just going to check, to look at c first. The increment changes in the x values are a half. So notice they're in order. They're going up by a half. That's okay. When x is 0, a is 36. And the base, so 12 divided by 36 is 1 over 3. 4 divided by 12 is 1 over 3. So the ratio is 1/3. So the base is 1/3. So y equals a is 36. The base is 1/3. And it's an x over 1/2. So y equals, so I got a 1/3. So x divided by a half, this x divided by a half is the same as x times 2 over 1. So that's 2x. So that's simple. X divided by half is the same as 2 times x. So there's the equation. Now, do we have them in descending order? No. So the x values start with, we got a 0, we got a 3, a 6, and a 9. That means when x is 64, sorry, when x is 0, we got a 64. When x is 3, we got a 16. When x is 6, we have a 4. When x is 9, we have a 1. So now I can look at the a values when x is 0, which is 64. Now the increment change, I can see it here, is 3, 3, 3. And the base, well, let's get the ratio. 16 divided by 64 is 1/4. 4 divided by 16 is 1/4. And 1 divided by 4 is 1/4. So the ratio is 1/4. So the base is 1/4. So y equals a, 64, ratio 1/4 to an x over 3 is the equation. And number 5, we have to put it in descending order. So the smallest exponent is -4. That's a 2. Then we go to -2, gives me a 1. Then we go to a 0 as a half. Then we go to 2, which is 1/4. So a is when x is 0, we have a half. And the increment changes in the x is, it's going up by 2. Add on 2, 2, 2. So c is 2. And let's get the base. Let's get the ratio. 1 divided by 2 is a half. A half divided by 1 is a half. So I just put the half there. And 1/4 divided by a half is 1/4 times 2 over 1. That gives me 2 over 4, which is a half. So the ratio is a half. That means the base is a half. So y equals a is a half. The base is a half. And it's an x. And the increment change in the x is 2. And again, you can sub these values in and check to see if you're right. So if you put 2 in, let's put 2 in and see if we get a quarter. Put 2 in for x. 2 over 2 is 1. A half to the 1 power is a half. A half times a half is a quarter. Good. Checks out. Okay, let's continue. And we're doing all this work to get you prepared to do the idea of what's in the word problems and what we're seeing in graphing. Find the equation as y equals a b to the x over c from a graph. Well, if you've got a graph, the thing to do would be to see if we can set up a table. So, again, instead of f of x, we just got the y. This could have been an f of x here. So this could have been f of x, but I just got y because y is the same as an f of x. So you got x and y. So when we have x is 0, we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have x is 3, y is 3. When we have x is 6, y is 1. So a is when x is 0, so a is 9. Look at our base. Base is the ratio. So 3 divided by 9 is 1/3. 1 divided by 3 is 1/3. So the ratio is 1/3. So the base is 1/3. And the increment changes in the x's are 3. So the equation, y equals 9, base 1/3, and x over, did I say 3? Look what I did. Sorry about that. I put a c there instead of a 3. Now, why would you make that mistake again? I got to be careful. I do make mistakes. So x is the increment change of 3. So there's the equation. And we have another one to do. Again, pause the video and see if you can work this one out before I do. Here I go. Let's draw the table of values. See if we can figure it out. There we go. X's and Y's. So when x is 0, we could have more. We got another one right here. When x is negative 2, y is, now we can't tell here because we don't know if it's on the 1, but we do know, see, I don't know if this is a 1 or in between, so I do know when x is 0, y is 3. When x is 2, y is 6. And when x is 4, y is 10, 11, 12. But I got to be cautious here because I don't know what this is. So let's go with these 3 ordered pairs. So A is when x is 0, A is 3. The base is the ratio, so 6 divided by 3 is 2. 12 divided by 6 is 2. So the ratio is 2, so the base is 2. And the increment changes are 2, 2, 2's each time. So the equation is y is equal to 3, base is 2, and x over 2. And if this is true, then if you had a negative 2 here, let's just go back and see what the negative 2 is. Since I have this equation for these 3 ordered pairs, let's see what this one is. If I put a negative 2, so if I say x is negative 2, I have y equals 3, 2 to the negative 2 over 2. That's 3, 2 to the negative 1. And 2 to the negative 1 is a half. So that becomes 3 over 2, which is 1 and 1/2. So that's why we can't tell. That looks like it's not a 1 or not a 2 is in between. So that's why I had to go with the 0, 2, and the 4. So that brings us to the end of finding the equation under different conditions, table of values and graphing. And notice we have the equation as a b to the x over c. So if you like my video, click on the like button. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe to my channel. Visit my math website, www.mathfullyexplained.com, to find more information about me, my videos, and the content that's on my YouTube channel called Math Fully Explained. Thank you for viewing my video. Hope the video helped you. Bye-bye.